Today I have been doing some free motion quilting on my Singer 15 Treadle. It's the only machine I have that I can do free motion quilting with. I haven't got any electric machines. I do everything either on hand machines or treadles, and this is the only treadle that I have that is suitable for free motion quilting. Usually when people do free motion quilting they like to drop the feed dogs. That's not possible on this machine because it is an older model and the stitch length is adjusted with the knob on the pillar. So what I do is set it to 0. So that I can do this free motion quilting, I have put on the hopping foot. The hopping foot has a lever which has to go over the screw of the needle clamp, and when the needle goes up and down, you can see that the lever goes up and down too. The way the hopping foot works is that when the needle is down, the lever comes down too, and the foot goes down and holds the work in place. When the needle comes up, the foot rises so that you can move your work from side to side. So when the needle is moving, the foot is going up and down. Now I did all that with the foot in the raised position. When it is down, I don't want to run it when the foot is down, but you'll see that it is much closer, but it still rises to give space for you to move your work from side to side. When doing free motion work, you need to be able to glide your work smoothly across the bed of the machine. Now there is a certain amount of friction that is set up just from the surface of the machine, so the way I make it smooth is to put cling film on it. The packet says all-purpose cling film, so I will take them at their word. Make sure that you have already put in your full bobbin. Lay some cling film over, don't worry too much about the creases, and then cut it off and tuck it in around the edges. Make it as smooth as you can. Get out the worst of the bubbles from underneath and just tuck these bits down around the edge of the machine. And it will stay in place surprisingly well. Once you've got your cling film over, you can then thread the needle and pull up the bobbin thread. And you'll see that the needle just punctures where it needs to go through, and the rest of the cling film stays in one piece. On this machine, the feed dogs do not drop, so what I have to do is set the stitch length to 0, and then the feed dogs just go up and down, they don't go back and forth. To help grip the material when I'm working, I have some gloves in a ghastly shade of pink, and they have little rubber grips on them, and this means that the material doesn't slip when I'm moving the work from side to side. I'm ready to start now with a strip of free motion quilting here between the yellow and the dark red, and there is already straight line quilting in place down either side, so I don't need any tacking pins or threads. I've got the needle in position for the first stitch, and because we're working with a treadle, we need to fit in as many stitches as possible per movement. So when I'm making the sideways movement, I want the sideways and movement with my hands to be as gentle and even as possible, whereas the movement with my feet at the same time has to be as fast and furious as possible. And you have to start off fast. You can't just gently rev up. You have to go straight from the beginning. So what I'm doing now is I'm just feeling with the wheel and my feet to make sure I'm going in the right direction. And as soon as I know I've got the movement right, I will start with my feet. Now, so I'm going really fast with my feet and as gently as possible with my hands. And I'm going to do the meandering stippling pattern all down this strip. Now the trouble is that it can be quite tiring, so when you want to stop, you have to stop dead, and I tend to do that at the side where I can think and decide what I'm going to do next. But at the moment I'm just going to see if I can keep on going. And when you're doing this, you get used to the sound of the machine and you know whether your speed is right. There, I've stopped dead. I put my hand on the wheel, and so that there's no movement while I've stopped, I'll make sure that the needle is down in the work. So I can take a breather, just straighten the work up a bit, and start again. So I'll start again, get the wheel going, get the feeling with my feet on the treadle, and go. And I'm going to see if I can get right down this piece without stopping. I've just finished sewing down this strip, and you can see that the free motion quilting shows up quite well because I've used variegated thread to make it more interesting. I'm still a learner when it comes to free motion quilting, but I'm very pleased with the results that I have been able to get from this Treadle machine, and I hope to be able to improve my quilting in future.